Hello everyone, welcome to the first video of our new series on personal finance. This series is for beginners as well as those people who have some amount of idea related to personal finance. In this series and these videos, I will be throwing great amount of light on personal finance from different angles. In today's video, we are going to dive deep into understanding what is an emergency fund, how significant it is to have an emergency fund, and how to build an emergency fund. So let's start. This is Rocky. In March 2020, when COVID had struck the whole world and lockdown had begun, a new way of working had emerged: work from home. Due to this, Rocky had to buy 3 laptops, one for him, one for his wife, and another one for his son. He had to upgrade his Wi-Fi as well. Unfortunately, his dad was tested COVID positive and was admitted to hospital. Around 6 lakh rupees was being spent on his hospital bill and medicines. Now just imagine, all these unexpected expenses of buying laptops, paying hospital bills must have left Rocky financially broke. But this did not happen. Rocky could manage all these expenses as he had put aside 8 to 10 lakh rupees as a corpus for all such unforeseen events. Well, this is the power of emergency funds. An emergency fund is a financial safety net consisting of savings set aside to cover all such unexpected financial emergencies. Now, there's a very big misconception among most of us related to financial literacy. They think being financially literate means knowing the art of trading at the stock market or having knowledge of fundamental analysis to make investments, etc., etc. But these things come in the later part. The first step towards being financially literate is to know what is an emergency fund and how to build this fund. By now, we have understood what is an emergency fund. So now let's focus on how to build this emergency fund. How to find out the amount of corpus that you need to set aside as an emergency fund. It's a big question to deal with. Experts say that ideally your 8 months expenses should be set aside as an emergency fund. This is an ideal size, but my opinion is that the size of emergency fund is too subjective. Some families may prefer keeping expenses of 6 months aside in advance. Some may prefer to keep expenses of 10 months aside, and some may prefer to keep aside expenses of 12 months. The better way to decide the corpus to set aside is the whole family should sit together, discuss upon it, and then come upon some decision of how much amount of money to set aside as an emergency fund. The next important question to deal with is how to build this emergency fund. Well, there are 2 ways of building this emergency fund. Say, let us assume the amount that you have fixed to set aside is rupees 8 lakhs. So every month, the income that you're earning, you can keep aside a small part of your income till you build this corpus of 8 lakh rupees. Or if you already have some big corpus ready, then the majority of this corpus should be diverted towards your emergency fund. Now, once you have accumulated this corpus of 8 lakh rupees, the next big important question to deal with is where to park these 8 lakh rupees. Well, someone would say keep it at home in your cupboard. Some intelligent people would give an idea of investing it into stock markets or mutual funds or maybe real estate or maybe gold. The biggest silly mistake that people commit over here is by investing this corpus into direct stocks or equity based mutual funds. Now, why is this a silly mistake? What is the purpose of having an emergency fund? So that this money is available to you in full whenever there is some emergency, right? Investing it in stocks or equity mutual funds, which are highly volatile asset, can pose a risk to your fund. If the price of stocks that you have bought from this fund falls, the value of your emergency fund will also depreciate, thereby not serving the purpose of having an emergency fund. So then which is the ideal place to park your corpus that you have accumulated? Well, the answer to this can be number one, traditional FD with banks, or a mutual fund which invests in government bonds, or a liquid mutual fund. Of the three instruments where you park your money, FD is highly liquid because the moment you withdraw, within few hours or few minutes, the money will be immediately credited to your account. But when it comes to a mutual fund, maybe investing in liquid mutual fund or a fund which invests in government bonds, they are slightly less liquid because after putting a request for redemption, your money gets credited in your account in around 2 to 3 days. Now in such situation, you can smartly use your credit card to pay off your financial emergency, and then once your mutual fund gets redeemed, you can pay your credit card the same amount of redeemed money. Now suppose if you use rupees 3 lakh from your emergency fund, a corpus of 8 lakh rupees, then kindly ensure that you refill this 3 lakh rupees so that your corpus amount always remains 8 lakh rupees. One big mistake that people commit over here is using their emergency fund for lifestyle upgradation, like buying a new TV or making down payment for a new car or buying a new iPhone or going for a foreign trip, etc. Kindly avoid this. The purpose of your emergency fund is to handle your financial emergencies, and buying a new car or buying a new iPhone is not your financial emergency. So I hope the first lecture of your personal finance series is crystal clear to all of you. Don't forget to like this video and do share your views in the comment box below. Here is Rohan signing off for today. Jai Hind.